So a lot of people said I was very courageous to handle cancer naturally. Um, and I didn't really think of it that way at the time because what I realized is that research and information create courage. That's how you get courage. Because the more I researched about healing the body and how food um, can impact the body and disease, the less scared I was because I had the information and I had the research to back it up and I had the scientific studies to back it up and I had the anecdotal stories to give me strength and I had all of this wealth of information and consultations with other professionals and people who had healed themselves that it really wasn't a huge act of courage. At that point, I had built the courage because I had the information to back it up. And so if you're afraid, it's usually because you don't have enough information to do what you need to do because you don't see how's that going to happen. If I said, let's just jump out of a plane and you're going to be okay, you don't need courage to do that. You need information first. You need to know, okay, the reason we're not going to die when we jump out of the plane is because we're going to wear a parachute. That's information. And then you know how that parachute works. If you're that scientifically inclined to figure that out, then you're like, oh, okay, now that makes sense. It's the same thing with pretty much anything that you attempt to do. When you arm yourself with information, when you arm yourself with professionals that can help you, when you understand this is how the body works. This is how the body heals. This is how food impacts the body. This is how disease is formed. When you get that information, then you have the courage to move forward because now you're not just like stepping out on blind faith. You actually have the information to back it up. And so I see that so many times with the clients that I coach. We'll have a great session and they'll come back and say, well, my better half doesn't think I should do this. Well, my doctor doesn't think I should do this. Or my best friend said this. And I said, so has your best friend studied what you studied? Do they know what you know? Have they informed themselves? They probably haven't. So of course they would be fearful because they don't have the information you have. And we all know this when people do sales training, they're like, the husband and the wife must be there because if one goes home and says, I'm buying this expensive thing and the other one hasn't been privy to the information of how beneficial this thing is going to be, they're going to say, no, we're not doing that. It's the same thing when you're trying to overcome that fear to do something that seems big. You've got to do the research. You've got to tap into the people who've done this before. You've got to tap into those stories. You've got to tap into someone who can help you and bring you along. And then your courage automatically grows, not by just osmosis, but by the education that you've given yourself. And that's what I like to do. Arm people with the information that they need to make better life choices, whether it's in healing themselves, whether it's food choices, whether it's career choices, whatever it is, when you arm yourself with real information and knowledge, then the courage is just simply the byproduct.